Good morning. The book I'll be talking about today is Daughter of the Deep by Riordan. This book is written in first person. The main character, Anna Dakar, is attending a school that specializes in preparing students for a variety of different careers related to working with the ocean in some way. So for instance, navigators, marine explorers, marine biologists, naval officers, basically any kind of career that involves working out on or in the water in some way. The main character is in her first year, and at the start of this story, she's about to take her freshman final exams when something goes really badly wrong. There's a major scale attack on her school, and both Anna and the entirety of her freshman class find themselves essentially running for their lives while they try to discover some of the secret history behind their school's founding, as well as the really intense rivalry that they have with an opposing organization. So this is a science fiction story. Like a lot of the conflicts in this book revolve around the existence and pursuit, I guess, of some really spectacular technology. And I guess a lot of the problems come from the fact that these two organizations have really opposing ideas about who should have access and control of this technology, as well as how it should or should not be used. So something that I guess this story does well, I think, is the way Anna starts to take command of her class and how they all have to learn to work together to survive. I guess I tend to have a soft spot for stories about unlikely teams of people coming together to survive something. I think that tends to be kind of interesting to me. And I guess in her case, it's this group of people who have trained in different specialized skills. So their school divides everyone into 4 houses. So you have, so some example, main character is in their dolphin group. So these are people who specialize in information technology, communication, decoding, and languages. You have people in the shark group who specialize in things like military offenses, diplomacy. So I think that just, her bringing together these people to form a functioning crew for the ship that they end up commanding was kind of interesting. But I guess some things I did not like were, I will say that I picked up this story because it was written by Riordan, and I'm pretty familiar with the Percy Jackson series, so I guess you could say I picked it up because I was expecting humor, but this is not a funny story. It was actually really grim, and there was none of the more comedic or lighthearted aspects that you got in some of his other books. So I think in that regard, I was kind of disappointed. And also, this story draws really heavily off the classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I am not familiar with, and this book seems to kind of take it for granted that you know what that story is about and never really bothered to explain to you what happened in that story or to clarify the references that it makes. I do kind of wonder if maybe this would have been a more interesting read for someone who is familiar with that book.